Across the vastness of space, a massive alien armada is detected on a collision course with Earth, their intentions unknown, but their power undeniable. Humanity's governments spring into action, activating a long-hidden top-secret defense system, a network of advanced, highly sophisticated weapons platforms, and orbital defense stations built in secret over decades. Deep within a top-secret military bunker, hidden beneath the deserts of the American Southwest, General Sarah Granger stares intently at the holographic display projecting the alien armada's trajectory, the alien ship's number in the hundreds, sleek and menacing, their advanced propulsion systems propelling them towards Earth at staggering speeds. Your report indicates the alien vessels will reach our borders within the next 72 hours, General Granger says, her voice calm and measured. This is the moment we've been preparing for all these years. Are the defense platforms and orbital defenses ready to engage? Yes, ma'am, the young officer at the comm station replies swiftly, his fingers flying across the console. We've got all systems powered up and standing by. Just give the order, and we'll light up the skies. Granger nods grimly. We have no choice now. Our fate, and the fate of the entire human race, rests on what happens in the next 3 days. She pauses a moment, taking a deep breath. Initiate the defense protocols, she commands. Scramble all available fighter craft and get me a secure channel to the Joint Chiefs. Within minutes, the remote weapons platforms and orbital defense stations spring to life, their slumbering systems now humming with power. Dozens of high-speed interceptor craft streak away from hidden launch facilities, rocketing up through the atmosphere to take up defensive positions around the planet. On the global stage, world leaders are hastily convened, a frantic emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. The news of the alien armada's approach has already leaked, and panic is rippling through the population. Millions cower in their homes, wondering if humanity will survive the coming onslaught. We have no choice but to reveal the existence of our secret defense system, General Granger tells the assembled leaders. This is humanity's last stand. If we fail, every man, woman, and child on this planet will perish. Fortunately, we've had decades to prepare for this moment, and our arsenal is more than a match for the alien invaders. The Security Council members exchange uncertain glances. Some appear hopeful, while others seem resigned to their fate. Either way, the time for secrets is over. Granger says bluntly, we fight or we die. With a heavy heart, the Council approves the General's proposal, and a global announcement is made to the public across every network and communications channel. The chilling words ring out: Alien Armada detected Earth's secret defense system, activates. Brave pilots and technicians man their stations, preparing to defend our home world against the impending invasion. As the news spreads, panic gives way to a cautious hope. Humanity has always risen to the challenge of adversity, they tell themselves, and this time will be no different. With their defenders poised to engage the alien ships, the people of Earth steel themselves for the battle to come. In the final hours before contact, General Granger oversees the final preparations, meticulously reviewing battle plans and troop deployments. She knows the odds are long. The alien armada vastly outnumbers their defenders, but she also knows that the fate of the human race rests squarely on their shoulders. This is our finest hour, she says to her staff, a faint smile crossing her lips. We are the last line of defense, the final barrier between our world and utter annihilation. Failure is not an option. As the first alien ships come into visual range, Granger takes a deep, steadying breath. Then, with a nod to her subordinates, she gives the order: launch all forces, engage the enemy, and may God be with us. With the activation of Earth's secret defense network, the skies above the planet erupt into a dazzling display of firepower. Squadrons of state-of-the-art fighter craft streak into the fray, their pilots pushing the limits of their advanced craft in a desperate bid to repel the alien invaders. Leading the charge is Captain Emily Ashford, a seasoned veteran with dozens of combat engagements under her belt. Her sleek interceptor cuts a path through the chaos, its engines blazing as she lines up her targets, the alien vessels lumbering ever closer to the vulnerable cities and population centers below. Locked on target, Ashford barks into her comm systems, unleash hell. At her command, a hail of precision-guided missiles streaks out from the fighter craft, slamming into the alien ships with devastating force. Explosions blossom across their hulls as the alien formation begins to break apart under the relentless assault of the human defenders. The invaders are unable to maintain their cohesion. Excellent work, Ashford. The gruff voice of General Granger crackles over her comm. Keep up the pressure. We need to buy our ground forces and orbital platforms as much time as possible. Copy that, the captain replies, her fingers dancing across the controls of her craft. As long as I've got missiles to fire, I'll be here to greet our guests. Granger allows herself a thin smile of satisfaction watching the battle unfold on the tactical display within the reinforced bunker. Her staff moves with a frenetic energy, relaying orders and coordinating the defense efforts across multiple fronts. Automated defense platforms unleash withering barrages of energy beams and kinetic projectiles, carving swaths through the alien armada. But for every ship they destroy, two more seem to take its place, the alien commander clearly possessing an overwhelming numerical advantage. Granger's expression darkens as she realizes that even the might of their secret arsenal may not be enough to turn the tide of the battle. We're taking heavy losses out there, she says grimly, her eyes narrow as she studies the holo display, the numbers of enemy vessels dwindling far too slowly for her liking. We need to find a way to even the odds if we're going to have any chance of survival. One of her officers steps forward holding a datapad. Ma'am, we're detecting a massive power surge from the alien command ship. He reports, his voice tinged with concern. It appears they're charging some kind of experimental weapon. Granger's blood runs cold. Experimental weapon, she echoes, her voice tight with concern. Patch me through to all units, get our fighters clear, and order the ground and orbital platforms to concentrate their fire on that command vessel. We have to neutralize that threat before it's too late. As the human defenders scramble to meet this new danger, the alien armada continues its inexorable advance, the fate of the planet hanging in the balance. The skies above Earth erupt in a cataclysmic clash as the planet's secret defense network engages the massive alien armada in a desperate bid to repel the invasion. Squadrons of sleek fighter craft dart and weave amidst the exchange of fire, while automated defense platforms unleash withering barrages of energy beams and kinetic projectiles. At the heart of the battle is Captain Emily Ashford, her interceptor prowling the fringes of the conflict, her weapons systems locked onto the alien command vessel as it powers up a terrifying new weapon. General Granger has ordered all available firepower to be focused on that primary target. Ashford grits her teeth as she lines up her shot, her finger tightening on the trigger. Enemy command ship in my sights, she reports, coolly initiating attack run. With a roar of her engines, the captain's craft surges forward, her missiles streaking out in a brilliant volley that slams into the alien vessel's shields. The alien ship shudders under the impact, but its powerful defenses hold firm. Damn it, Ashford growls, shields are still up, rerouting power to secondary weapon systems. She pulls her craft into a tight, evasive maneuver as enemy fighters converge on her position, their weapons blazing, weaving between the hail of incoming fire. Ashford unleashes a withering barrage from her pulse cannons, carving a swath through the alien formation. All units target the enemy command ship, she barks into her comm. Concentrate your fire. We have to bring those shields down. Around her, the human defenders heed the call, their weapons fire converging on the alien vessel in a dazzling display of destructive force. Explosions blossom across its hull as the shields begin to flicker and fail. Yes, Granger breathes, watching the tactical display intently. Just a little more, keep the pressure on. But the alien commander is not about to surrender so easily. Sensing the threat to its command ship, it unleashes a fresh wave of fighters to blunt the human assault. Ashford and her squad mates find themselves swarmed on all sides, their skill and daring the only thing keeping them alive. Amidst the chaos, the alien command vessel's weapon systems reach full charge, a towering beam of energy lancing out towards the planet. Below, Granger's eyes widen in horror as she realizes their defense platforms are too far away to intercept the deadly attack. Ground forces brace for impact, she orders, urgently divert all available power to your defensive shields. We're about to take a hell of a hit. The beam slams into the Earth's atmosphere with apocalyptic force, carving a swath of destruction through the upper atmosphere. Cities tremble as the shockwave tears through their foundations, and millions hold their breath waiting for the end. But the end does not come. Instead, the alien weapon peters out, its energy spent before it can reach the surface. Granger lets out the breath she'd been holding, her fist clenching in grim determination. They'd bought us some time, she growls, but we're running out of it fast. the next shot may not miss. As the apocalyptic beam of energy from the alien command vessel dissipates high above the Earth's surface, the human defenders scramble to regroup their forces battered but unbowed by the devastating attack. General Granger watches the tactical display, her expression grim but resolute. "They're trying to soften us up," she mutters under her breath. "Before they hit us with the big one, we need to take that command ship out of the fight if we have any hope of survival." Across the battlefield, Captain Emily Ashford and her squad mates fight with a desperate fury, their interceptors weaving through the hail of enemy fire as they unleash volley after volley of missiles and cannon rounds upon the alien vessels. Flank left, Ashford barks, her fingers dancing across the controls. "Bring your targeting systems online and prepare to launch on my mark." Her wingmen comply without hesitation, their craft peeling away in perfect synchronization. As they line up their shots, the human pilots pour on the speed, their engines straining to the limit as they close in on the alien formation. Now Ashford shouts, "Fire everything we've got." A torrent of missiles and energy beams lances out from the human fighters, slamming into the alien ships with devastating force. Explosions blossom across their hulls as the human assault carves a path through the enemy ranks. "Keep it up," she urges, her voice rising with adrenaline. "We're breaking through their lines." On the ground, the automated defense platforms join the fray, their advanced targeting systems locking onto the damaged alien vessels, precision energy beams and kinetic rounds, cutting them to shreds. Granger watches with grim satisfaction as the alien formation begins to unravel under the sustained onslaught. "That's it," she murmurs, her fingers clenching into fists. "Heap the pressure on, overwhelm their defenses." The human forces push their advantage, ruthlessly refusing to let the battered alien ships regroup. Ashford and her squadron weave through the chaotic melee, their weapons blazing as they pick off one enemy craft after another. "We've got them on the run," she reports exultantly. Her interceptor deftly avoids a volley of enemy fire before lining up another kill shot. "Looks like we might just pull this off after all." Granger allows herself a thin smile of satisfaction as the tactical displays show the alien armada's numbers rapidly dwindling under the relentless onslaught of the human defenders. Cautious hope begins to take root in her heart. Perhaps they can pull this off after all. But even as the battle seems to be turning in humanity's favor, the general's expression darkens as a new threat appears on her display, a massive burst of energy signature blooming from the alien command vessel. "Oh no," she breathes, her eyes widening in alarm. "Not again. Get all units clear," she barks into the comm. Immediately, that ship is powering up another attack. As the human defenders scramble to comply, the alien weapon unleashes its devastating fury. Once more, a beam of pure destruction lancing down towards the planet below. Granger can only watch in horror as it streaks towards its target. The alien command vessel's devastating energy weapon lances down towards the Earth's surface as the human defenders scramble to evade its deadly fury. General Granger watches the tactical display with growing dread, her knuckles white as she grips the edge of the console. "All units pull back," she orders, her voice tight with tension. "Get clear of the weapon's targeting radius immediately." The human fighters peel away in a desperate attempt to flee the alien attack, but the beam's massive area of effect proves too much to outrun. Explosions blossom across their hulls as they are caught in the shockwave, the sheer force of the blast ripping their craft apart. Granger's jaw clenches as she watches the devastating losses mount, her eyes narrowing with determination. "We have to stop that weapon at all costs," she growls, "whatever it takes." Turning to her staff, she barks out a series of rapid-fire orders, scrambling support craft and ground-based missile batteries to converge on the alien command vessel's position. "Unleash everything we've got," she commands. "Leave no stone unturned." The human defenders spring into action, their remaining fighters and orbital platforms pouring a withering barrage of fire onto the alien command ship. Brilliant flashes of energy and kinetic rounds slam into its shields as it strains to maintain its deadly assault on the planet below. But despite the human onslaught, the alien vessel's defenses refuse to falter, its shields holding firm against the assault. Granger grits her teeth in frustration as she watches the situation spiraling out of control. "We're not putting a dent in it," she snarls, her eyes scanning the tactical readouts. "We need something more powerful, something that can break through those shields." As if in answer to her unspoken plea, one of her officers steps forward, his expression grim. "Ma'am, we've identified a critical weakness in the alien ship's power grid. He reports we think we can overload its systems and disable the weapon if we can deliver a concentrated burst of electromagnetic energy directly to its core. Granger's eyes narrow as she considers the implications of his proposal. It's risky, she acknowledges, but if it works, it could be our only chance at this point. We don't have much choice. She nods sharply. Do it, she commands. Divert all available power to that strike and prepare a surgical drone strike to deliver the payload. The human forces shift their focus, their remaining fighters and missile batteries converging on the alien command vessel's flank, while a lone combat drone streaks towards its vulnerable underbelly. Granger watches the unfolding battle with bated breath, silently praying that their gambit will succeed. As the drone delivers its deadly cargo, the alien ship's shields flare brilliant white before collapsing entirely. A deafening explosion rips through its hull as the accumulated energy overloads its systems. The massive vessel shudders and pitches wildly before plummeting towards the earth, its reign of terror finally at an end. Granger lets out the breath, she'd been holding a thin smile spreading across her lips. They did it, she murmurs, the relief evident in her voice. Now let's finish this. With the destruction of the alien command vessel, the human defenders seized the initiative, their remaining forces pressing the attack against the now disorganized alien armada. General Granger watches the tactical displays intently, her brow furrowed in concentration as she coordinates the next phase of the counteroffensive. All units converge on the enemy flank, she orders, her voice carrying an undercurrent of determined resolve. Put every last weapon we have into breaking their lines. We can't let them regroup. Across the battlefield, the human fighters and orbital defense platforms unleash a withering barrage, their concentrated firepower carving deep into the alien formation. Captain Emily Ashford and her squadron dart and weave amidst the chaos, their interceptors launching volley after volley of missiles and energy beams. Keep the pressure on, Ashford calls out, her eyes narrowed in fierce determination. Don't let them have a moment's respite. The alien ships struggle to maintain their cohesion, their defensive capabilities overwhelmed by the relentless human assault. Explosions blossom along their hulls as the human forces push them back, inch by agonizing inch. Granger's lips thin into a grim line as she watches the unfolding battle. We've got them on the ropes, she murmurs, but they're still fighting. We can't afford to let up now. As the human defenders continue their onslaught, a new threat suddenly emerges on the tactical display, a massive concentration of alien vessels, previously undetected, converging on the planet's weakest defenses. General, we've got incoming, one of Granger's officers shouts, his voice laced with alarm. A second wave of alien ships, heading straight for our ground forces and population centers. Granger's eyes widen in dismay as she takes in the scope of the new threat. Damn it, she hisses, her fingers flying across the console as she redirects her forces to meet this latest challenge. All units, break off your current engagements and move to intercept the new alien force. We can't let them through. The human fighters break away from the battered alien formation, their engines burning bright as they race to confront the approaching enemy vessels. Granger's jaw tightens with determination, her gaze fixed on the tactical display as she prepares to throw everything she has into this final desperate gambit. This is it, people, she says, her voice ringing with a steely resolve. Everything we've built, everything we've worked for, it all comes down to this moment. We fight or we die. There is no other choice. As the two titanic forces collide in a cataclysmic clash, the fate of the Earth hangs in the balance. The human defenders, their backs against the wall, summon every last ounce of their strength and determination, their very survival at stake. The skies above Earth erupt in a maelstrom of destruction as the second wave of the alien armada collides with the human defenders in a desperate last stand. General Granger watches the unfolding battle with a grim determination, her knuckles white as she grips the edge of the tactical console. All units, engage the enemy with everything you've got. She barks into the comm, her voice cutting through the chaos. We can't let them break through our lines. The human fighters surge forward, their interceptors weaving through a hail of enemy fire as they unleash a blistering assault. Missiles and energy beams slam into the alien vessels, their shields flickering and failing under the relentless onslaught. Keep the pressure on, Captain Emily Ashford shouts, her craft darting through the melee, her weapons blazing. We can't let them reach the ground forces. The automated defense platforms join the fray, their precision-guided munitions carving swaths through the alien formation. Explosions blossom across the enemy ships as the human forces fight with a desperate fury, their daring maneuvers and innovative tactics slowly turning the tide of the battle. Granger watches the tactical displays, her jaw set in a grim line. They're holding, she murmurs, a hint of cautious optimism creeping into her voice. But we need to find a way to break their momentum, fast. As if in answer to her unspoken plea, one of her officers rushes to her side, a datapad clutched in his hand. General, we've detected a critical weakness in the alien fleet's command and control systems, he reports, his voice laced with urgency. If we can disrupt their coordination, it could give us the opening we need to crush them. Granger's eyes narrow as she considers the implications. Do it, she commands, her voice brooking no argument. Deploy the EMP drones and target their command vessels. We need to sever their chain of command. The human forces shift their focus, their remaining fighters peeling away to provide cover as specialized combat drones streak towards the heart of the alien armada. Unleashing powerful electromagnetic pulses, the drones wreak havoc on the alien ships, their advanced systems suddenly rendered inert. Yes, Granger exclaims, a grim smile spreading across her face as she watches the alien formation begin to unravel. Now, all units, push the attack. Don't let them recover. With the alien command and control systems crippled, the human defenders unleash a devastating counteroffensive. Missiles and energy beams rain down upon the disoriented alien vessels, their shields collapsing under the relentless onslaught. Ashford and her squadron weave through the melee, their interceptors carving a path of destruction through the enemy ranks. We've got them on the run, she shouts, her voice laced with a grim triumph. Keep up the pressure. Don't let them regroup. As the battle rages on, the human forces continue to press their advantage, their skills and determination proving to be the deciding factor in this titanic clash of civilizations. Granger watches with a sense of cautious optimism, her eyes fixed on the unfolding battle, the fate of the planet hanging in the balance. The cataclysmic battle between the human defenders and the alien armada reaches its climax, the fate of the planet hanging in the balance. General Granger watches the tactical displays with bated breath, her eyes narrowed in fierce concentration as she coordinates the final stage of the counteroffensive. With the alien command and control systems crippled by the EMP drones, the human forces have seized the initiative, their fighters and orbital platforms unleashing a devastating assault on the disoriented enemy vessels. Explosions blossom across the alien hulls as the relentless barrage of missiles and energy beams overwhelms their defenses. Keep up the pressure. Granger barks into the calm, her voice ringing with a steely resolve. We can't let them regroup. This is our chance to finish them off for good. Captain Emily Ashford and her squadron of elite pilots weave through the chaos, their interceptors darting and diving as they unleash volley after volley of precision-guided ordnance. The human fighters maneuver with a breathtaking skill, their ingenuity and daring proving to be the decisive factor in this climactic clash. We've got them on the ropes, Ashford reports, her voice laced with exhilaration. Just a little more and we can break their lines for good. Granger's lips thin into a determined line as she watches the battle unfold. The human forces are bloodied, their numbers depleted, but their resolve remains unbroken. They have come too far to fail now, their very survival at stake. All units, give it everything you've got, the general commands, her voice unwavering. This is our one and only chance. We can't afford to hold anything back. Destroy the alien armada and secure the future of humanity. The human defenders respond with a renewed fury, their weapons blazing as they unleash a devastating barrage upon the battered alien vessels. The skies above Earth erupt in a dazzling display of light and sound, the very fabric of space shuddering under the intensity of the conflict. Ashford and her squadron weave through the chaos, their interceptors carving a path of destruction through the enemy ranks. With each passing moment, the human forces gain the upper hand, their tactics and technology proving to be the decisive factor in this climactic battle. As the final alien ships succumb to the relentless human assault, a deafening cheer goes up from the command bunker. Granger allows herself a brief moment of triumph, a thin smile spreading across her face as she surveys the aftermath of the battle. "We did it," she murmurs, her voice tinged with a mixture of relief and pride. "Against all odds, we've secured the future of our species." In the skies above, the human fighters return to their bases, their pilots weary but triumphant. The planet below has been saved, and the people of Earth can finally breathe a collective sigh of relief. The alien armada has been defeated, and the secret defense system of humanity has proven its worth. In the aftermath of this monumental victory, the world stands poised on the brink of a new era, one where the stars themselves are within their reach,